They had traveled the glory road before, but each one of them realized that it would be a lot tougher the second time around. Each man in his own way, yet firmly bonded together as a family, prepared himself for the battles that loomed ahead. Coach Jackie Sherrill pointed the way and charted the course, but it was up to each of them to make the total commitment necessary to take the sure steps of a champion. Each man knew that when they took the field as a team, they were going to be the major target of every foe they faced during the season. When the lights came on and the new season began, there was a price to pay. That's the agenda a defending champion faces, and they knew it. It was not a time for weak hearts and partial commitment. Coach Sherrill's Aggies were ready. The spirit that linked them together, both on and off the field, went deeper than any one player. The same deep commitment and dedication that led them to the conference title in 1985 was alive in them again as they met the hard knocks and joys of the 1986 campaign. There was a lot on the line for each player. It was a time to join together as a family and take care of business. Come with us now as we relive the sure steps of a champion. The challenges came thick and fast for Coach Jackie Sherrill's Fighting Texas Aggies as they raced to their second straight Southwest Conference Championship and Cotton Bowl appearance. The men of the maroon and white thrilled legions of fans and turned Aggieland into the football capital of the Southwest. Performing in beautiful Kyle Field, where they now own the nation's longest home winning streak, 14 games, Sherrill's men averaged more than 60,000 fans per outing and proved once again that they are a key draw on the road, as Aggie fans oftentimes outnumbered the home folks in other team stadiums. Millions more across the nation became Aggie fans as the maroon and white appeared on national or regional television 11 times this season alone. And in 1986, the Aggies proved to be the class of the SWC once again. And when the season ended, they stood alone atop the conference standings. The Aggies opened the season as they had the year before on a sweltering night on national television and in hostile territory. Coach Sherrill set the stage for the game and the season.
Over a couple of things. This is the start of the 86 season, guys. This is it. We went through all through spring, we went all through summer, we went all through 2 days. Just kicking it off. Exciting. Every one of you's got something inside to gain. Every one of you. We talked about the 4 things, your identity. Thing we know about you. You know who you are. Everyone in this room knows who you are. Roger Vick knows who he is. Johnny Holland, you know what you're going to do, don't you, son? Every plot. We know who we are.
One thing the Aggies knew for sure, they could move the ball on just about anyone, and they proved their point on a third and long situation on their first possession.
Hash mark on the left side. Straight drop back for Murray under some pressure. Now he is rolled, and the ball will be caught out at the 42-yard line. Roll to his right, and right over the middle hit Shea Walker. That pickup a moment ago was about 5 yards. It'll be second down and 5 to go. The deep pitch will go to Woodside. Woodside with some blocking. He has a hole at the 45. He's at the 35. Needs a block there. Tripped up at the 30. Now gains yardage down to the 23-yard line. Somebody almost had him around the 30. Somehow he was able to keep his balance. Wrong side of the formation has Rod Bernstein, the tight end, on the right. This is a third down and goal from the 5 into the end zone. Caught! Shea Walker, touchdown. Texas A&M on their first offensive possession of the 1986 campaign.
The Tigers came right back to knot the score and then held the Aggies. Now it was up to the A&M defense to return the favor. They were up to the task.
Yard after they had made the reception. Again, Hodgson will straight drop back and throw over the middle. This one will be good enough for the first down. It's out to Martin again. He's at the 45. Ball's on the turf, and it's going to be recovered by Texas A&M. The Aggies have it if it holds up, and it does.
Taking advantage of the turnover, the Aggies march toward pay dirt in the second quarter.
Third down. The scoreboard says it's 12 needed for the first down. Man in motion will be Rod Harris. He was set up in the backfield. Murray with time will throw to the end zone. Caught! Rod Bernstein, touchdown! Oh, Bernstein on a cut pattern back to his left. Running the hash mark on the right side, cut it back to the middle of the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Norman Jefferson gave.
LSU, playing tough in the Tiger Den, fought back to tie the score at halftime. The Aggies would need a Tiger turnover to regain the lead.
Oh, at the line of scrimmage, snap goes back to Harvey Williams. Williams carries a couple of guys with him. May have fumbled the football, did he? And the Aggies have recovered. Williams fumbled at the 40, and falling on the football is Alex Morris.
The Murray-led offense put A&M in scoring position once again.
They're trying to capitalize on the turnover. Fake into the line, throw, ball caught by Bernstein. Bernstein inside the 10. Bernstein knocked out of bounds at the 8-yard line.
A field goal gave the Aggies a 17-14 lead. Coach Sherrill knew that his troops could compete with anyone and used the LSU experience to set the tone for the remainder of the season.
But I think if you look at the LSU games, our players came away with an attitude that, hey, you know, that game's over with. Let's get on with our business and let's make corrections. And let's make the next game and the most important game and go from there.
Going from there meant the home opener against North Texas State.
One thing we want to talk about, how many games we got left? 11 games. Don't let 1 second go unwasted at all. Every snap. Make something happen. I want to see how you're going to play, Sammy. Same thing with you, Louis Cheek. I want to see how you're going to play. Same thing with you, Rod Sadler. How you going to play? And this is going to determine what kind of football team we're going to have.
And what kind of football team they were was tremendous, starting with the Aggies' first play from scrimmage.
Come out in a strange formation that I've not seen before. They put a man in motion back to the right. They'll throw out in the flats to Rod Harris. He has a lot of blocking out in front of him to the 20, 40, 45, 50, 40, 35, 30-yard line, North Texas territory. Will be the tailback out of the eye. Here's Valentine. He's got big yardage. He hits and goes into the end zone. Touchdown. He was hit at the 5. Looked like he was going to be stopped and then just bounced off that would-be tackler and goes into the end zone. 80 yards. Opening drive. A&M has a 6-0 lead with a point after to come against North Texas.
A missed conversion attempt, an intercepted pass, put A&M behind 7-6, but then the Aggies went ahead to stay.
Kevin Murray threw 10 interceptions last year. In the shortened 84 season, he threw 5. The option, Woodside, 30. Out to the 35, 40, at the 50, 45, 40. One man had a chance and brought him down inside the 35 at the 32-yard line. Single setback, that's Matt Gurley. Slot formation on the right. Straight drop back. Murray is looking, throws, and has a man in the end zone. It's Shea Walker. A yard into the end zone here on the near side. Walker's second touchdown.
From that point forward, the Aggie defense took control.
Here's Bron Beal running the option back to the left. He's going to be caught back at the 46-yard line, North Texas territory. It was Sammy O'Brien who made the tackle. A loss back to the 46. Change at quarterback, we'll get that in a moment. The pitch goes back to the halfback, Billy Brewer, and Alex Morris will make the tackle for the Aggies. They'll split a receiver wide to the left side. They'll go on a delay and caught and dropped all the way back inside the 15, back at the 12.
And the offense pounded out scores to put the game out of reach.
And the handoff will go to Valentine. Valentine, he got in. Touchdown. Ira Valentine, that is his second TD of the night. Reception at the 3. Craig Stump at quarterback. Pitch goes to Matt Gurley. Gurley, touchdown! Aggies will hand off. Second man through and up and alley-oop over the top. And then we'll go to number 24, and I'll check him whenever we find him. That's Adam Bobb.
And before it was all over, even the Aggie special teams scored.
Long count. Low snap. Aggies are coming, and they have blocked the ball. Straight up in the air. Ball hits, bounces, picked up by the Aggies, and into the end zone. Touchdown. That's going to be Tim Landrum, I believe.
A&M established a comfortable lead, giving a lot of younger players a chance to see some game action, and coasted to a 48-28 victory. The final non-conference opponent for the Aggies was Southern Mississippi, one of the toughest defensive teams the Aggies would face all season. Coach Sherrill knew it would take a maximum effort to be successful.
All right, guys, listen up. We're going to find out what kind of football team we got right now. And we made that one step. Now we go to the next step. We've got to discipline yourselves to work together as a unit. Offense, defense, kicking game, punt block, whatever it is. Let's get together. Let's have some fun. Also, you got to decide to discipline yourself as far as playing for 60 minutes. You're going to play as hard the first second you go on the field as you do the last second. There's a lot of teams that play hard the first second, but all of a sudden when they get their heads rung a little bit and bells rung, they kind of go down. Let's make sure we play and keep strong. You guys have fun tonight, but make things happen. Same of you guys get together and have some fun. All right, just call them up and get them in.
And in a monumental defensive struggle that saw the first half end in a scoreless tie, the Aggies let their opponents know it was going to be a long night.
Back to the left side, straight drop back, deep pocket. And a flag is down. They'll drop Anderson back inside the 15 at the 12. Man in motion, Alston back to the right side. The deep pitch will go to Alexander. He goes nowhere. Rod Sadler dropped him back at the 14-yard line. And they'll bring Alston in that direction in motion. The handoff goes to Shackelford. Did Shackelford get it? I think he's going to be marked short. Andy Anderson is the quarterback. He is under some pressure. He will be dropped inside the 20, back at the 18-yard line.
20.
At halftime, Coach Sherrill gathered the Aggies together and laid it on the line.
They're feeling good. It's nothing. They've accomplished what they set out to come down and do the first half. You guys don't go back out there. You guys you got to have something to you. You got to pull it out. Defense, keep putting the pressure on them. Keep putting the pressure on them. Offense, we got to make some things happen.
And make something happen is exactly what the Aggies did, starting with their very first possession.
After being shaken up in the first half. Pass out in the flats to Valentine at the 20, 25, 30, 35-yard line, 37-yard line, maybe the 38.
That drive led to a Scott Slater field goal and a 3-0 Aggie lead. On defense, the Aggies kept up the pressure.
It will be a straight drop back. Anderson, a lot of pressure. He'll be caught. He's going to be dropped inside the 10.
That forced a punt and set up the Aggies for another score as Kevin Murray went to work with the passing game.
They have him spread out all the way to the sideline. Murray with a lot of time, throws over the middle. It's caught, touchdown, Bernstein!
2 more field goals put the game out of reach, and the Aggie defense, which had been hard-nosed all night, closed the show with the Aggie version of the sack attack.
Big play. I formation. Ball spotted in the middle of the field. Man in motion, Alston, Tillman back to the right. Straight drop back, Anderson under some pressure. Anderson caught, drop, back at the 6-yard line. It will be Tim Landrum and Jay Muller. Chet Brooks, Morris, Corrington, and Holly are the defensive backs. They're going to go to the air. Pressure. Caught, dropped. Back at the 25-yard line. 3rd down, 17. Ball back at the 26-yard line. Forced to go to the air. Here's some pressure coming, and they drop him again.
The Aggies won 16-7 to close the non-conference schedule with 2 consecutive victories.
Southern Mississippi game was a game that bringing in a senior football team that had a lot of talent in running back and quarterback and receiver. And our football team, I think, became of age that game because we did some great things defensively, but also offensively we gelled and made some things happen offensively. Excellent job, guys. This is a great way to win a football game. You played a very physical team. They run the ball against everybody that they've ever played. And this one you can go back and celebrate. Now, you guys celebrate tonight. Get it out of your system because we get ready for the conference play. And it starts right here. It started a year ago. Well, we turned things around, we went in the right direction, and we're going to find out today what kind of team we have. We got 9 Saturdays left, and we come in this game, after this game today, it'll be 1 and 0, or 0 and 1. Start off the conference. We can't think about the others. You guys have fun, get out there, be excited. Defensive people get out there and jump around, make things happen.
Before a throng of screaming fans at Kyle Field, the Aggies began their defense of the Southwest Conference Championship with a bang.
10, the 11, Tech territory. They'll go on the pitch to the left side. Roger Vick has a lane clear. He is in. Touchdown.
The Aggies scored first, and the defense got the ball right back.
Double slot. Short side of the field is to the right toward the the Aggie bench, or rather the Red Raider bench. They'll throw in the flats. It's to Travis Price. Price has it across the 45. Ball is fumbled. And let's see if they are going to rule that A&M has recovered. They will.
The floodgates were about to open.
Woodside goes in motion back to the left, and they'll go straight ahead. Vick at the 20, Vick at the 15, at the 10, at the 5. Touchdown, Roger Vick. his second of the afternoon. Aggies put a man in.
Already up 14-0 at the end of the first period, the Aggies switched from the ground game to the passing attack.
Harris in motion back toward the middle. Screen pass is set up to Woodside at the 40, 45, 50. Has a block, springs forward. He's inside the 30. He's going to go all the way for an Aggie touchdown. It will go for some 60 yards for Keith Woodside.
The Aggies added a field goal, then smothered Tech's only serious drive of the first half.
It was a great defensive play.
Lemuel Stinson was the intended receiver. Tolliver under some pressure will be dropped back at the 28-yard line.
Leading 24-0 to start the second half, the Aggies capitalized on a Tech fumble to put Kevin Murray and the Aggie Air Force in business again.
Second down and goal. Valentine went in motion. Back to the right. They're going to roll in that direction. They're going to throw into the end zone. Touchdown, Ira Valentine. Murray rolling to his right. Hit Valentine 2 yards into the end zone. Touchdown, Texas A&M.
And as the final quarter began, the Aggies set up still another score with a little razzle-dazzle play. The halfback option pass.
Belong to us. Going to pass over to Lance Haberda. He's back now. He's going to throw a halfback pass downfield, and it will be caught by Shea Walker at the 6-yard line. Right half, and the fullback in the straight tee is Roger Vick. Handoff goes to Vick. Vick in for the touchdown, his third of the afternoon. That ups the score now to 37-0 in favor of Texas A&M.
And the Aggie defense all afternoon continue to make life miserable for their opponents.
About 4 needed. Ball at the 40. Handoff straight ahead. Hit and knocked back. Oh, what a hit by the Aggies. Dana Batiste. Slot formation left and right. Ball in the middle of the field for the Red Raiders. Again, pressure. Cassie trying to get away. Can't do it. Ball's on the turf. Recovered by the Red Raiders at the 37-yard line.
A late Tech score made the final count 45-8. The successful defense of the Southwest Conference title had begun.
I think any conference game, and certainly the first conference game, is extremely important, and it's also very important that you play well because it sets the tone for the rest of the conference race. And playing Texas Tech at home and having the opportunity to play extremely well, and we gave them a lot of problems with their schemes, offensively with our defensive schemes, and it turned out to be an outstanding day for A&M.
The next test was the Houston Astrodome, where the Aggies had never been victorious. There, before a regional television audience, the game became a defensive struggle of epic proportions.
2 wideouts as Houston moves on the offense. Here comes the blitz. And it was Larry Kelm who nailed the quarterback Mark Davis before he could get out of his tracks for a 5-yard loss.
And the Aggies were ready for the test with key defensive plays, putting A&M in position for 3 Scott Slater field goals, the only scoring through the first half.
Pearson and Tate are the running backs for Houston. First down on the Cougar 40. And under a rush, Davis, he loses a football rolling around, and a big pile-up, Jay Mueller after the ball. Third down, 19 for Houston. Again, Davis under a rush. Tries to run out of the trap and is sacked from behind by John Roper, number 83.
They fumbled a few, but they've gotten them back themselves.
Second, ooh, Davis is dumped, and it's Sadler who knocked him off his feet, number 99. The 6'5", 265-pounder from Atlanta, Georgia, for a yard loss.
Protecting a 9-0 lead early in the second half, Kevin Murray hooked up with Shea Walker.
6 defensive backs on the field for Houston on a 3rd down and 6. Murray looks for that defense, whips it on a slam into Shea Walker, and Walker has a big first down to about the 11-yard line.
Another Slater field goal made it 12-0. Then midway through the final period, James Flowers iced the game for the Aggies.
Rolls the man in motion. Davis rolls that way and fires. It is picked off. It is intended for Brown. It is picked up by Flowers, and it's a touchdown for the Aggies.
I don't know what the jinx has been in the past, and people kept talking about the Dome, but I never really understood it. This year we played Houston in the Dome, and for the first time in many years our players came away with a win, and I think that's extremely important because you're breaking all those myths, or you're getting rid of all those things that you were not able to do in the past, but all of a sudden it's not a big deal anymore. You just go out and do it.
Since mid-July, television networks, coaches, and fans had been pointing to the A&M Baylor game as the key contest in the race for the conference crown. That moment had finally arrived. Coach Sherrill prepared his team.
Great opportunity. We got them in our home, 76,000 people. Things it's going to take to win: desire, your own self-discipline, and dedication. I'm talking about our inside. No distractions. This is our home.
With ABC Sports and 75,000 Kyle Field fans on hand, that dedication and self-discipline was challenged like no other time in recent history as Baylor jumped to a quick 17-0 lead and nearly blew the game wide open before some A&M defensive heroics turned the tide.
On the left side, single setback. Here's Carlson throwing, and he is caught, dropped down at the 3-yard line by Kip Corrington, and short yardage situation, 4th down and goal, inside the 1, full house backfield. Clark may have called an audible. He will give the ball at the 1-yard line. Don't think he got in. We'll check and see. Did not get in.
The defense held, and as the quarter changed, the Aggies capped off a scoring march of their own.
5. Single setback. Roger Vick, slot on the right. Under pressure, Murray throwing toward the end zone. Touchdown, Rod Bernstein.
The Aggie crowd was now into the game for the first time, and so was the personification of A&M spirit and tradition, the 12th man kickoff team.
Favoring the hash mark on the right. The kick with the wind at his back will be taken at the 5-yard line on the return back to the 15, out to the 20, out to the 23-yard line.
The inspired defense forced a Baylor punt. On A&M's next possession, lightning struck.
This is a big play. Again, it will be Murray to throw the football. Has time, will throw, has Rod Harris at midfield, 50, it's a foot race, 40. The man has the angle on him. Ron Francis, will he catch him? He does, down at the 8-yard line, but what a
Capping off the drive with the keeper, quarterback Kevin Murray brought the Aggies to within striking distance.
Murray dives for what will be his first touchdown of the season. And suddenly it's a 17-13 game with 7:16 to go in the first half.
The Aggies had drawn close, and at halftime, Coach Sherrill rallied his team and issued the challenge.
And guys, we're going to go out there and take it back. We got to kick off. We got to make something happen. Go down and make it. But we're going to win this ball game if it's a last second, last play, whatever it is. But every play harder, play harder. All right, let's go on out there and kick off.
Though they rallied, the Aggies found themselves down by 10 points near the end of the third quarter and facing a 3rd and long deep in their own end of the field.
Ball is snapped again. Murray dropping back to throw. Has time. Now some pressure. He's being pressured. Still being pressured. Got away from somebody. Now he's on the roll and will throw the ball up the middle to Shea Walker. How he got that one away, I'll never know. Walker out to the 40.
As the game moved to the final stanza, the Aggie air attack kept the drive alive.
And here the Aggies right back to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10. Murray again will put the ball in the air. Throws over the middle to Bernstein. Bernstein inside the 30-yard line. Needs a block. Inside the 25. Inside the 20. Down to the 16-yard line. In a straight T formation at the line of scrimmage. Murray wants to throw. Looking into the end zone. Being pressured. Now pumps. Now throws back to the deep part of the end zone. It's Woodside. Touchdown. Got the feet in and then stepped out of bounds the back line of the end zone.
The stage was set for Heartstop City with both teams continuing to score and the clock rapidly squeezing the life out of the Aggie hopes. The A&M defense had to stop the Bears and get the ball back.
Down in 3. They're going to run the option. Carlson will be caught. He did not make it. Drop back at the 24-yard line.
With a Kyle Field crowd on the verge of hysteria, Murray and company responded.
2 wide outs on the right side. Thompson went in motion. Here's Murray under some pressure. Throws toward the end zone. Caught by Thompson after he juggled the football. Oh, brother. Looked like he was going to drop the football, and somehow Tony Thompson with Anthony Coleman right on him juggled that football, and then before he went out of the back of the end zone, got possession. It's an Aggie touchdown, a 4-yard pass.
In what had to be the most exciting come-from-behind display in recent A&M history, the Aggies had captured a 31-30 victory. And after the game, Coach Sherrill congratulated his team.
You know, homeboy! You know, he's still not playing 100% as far as being healthy, but he's giving everything he's got for everybody. You played for him, he hung in there, but you kept on playing. Defensive guys, that's where to go back there and knock them down. And when you're down 17 points in the first quarter and all of a sudden you've got to come from behind for 3 quarters left, playing a great football team and winning it 31-30, I think it was a great accomplishment by our football team. We're going to line up each week, and somehow, somewhere, somebody's going to find a way to win. Just give us enough time on that clock.
With the emotional win over Baylor still fresh in the minds of his players, Coach Sherrill reminded his team just prior to the Rice game to concentrate on their opponent and on their own abilities.
3 things I want to grade for you today. When you come in the locker room after the game today, I want you to grade yourself. I want you to grade yourself on your effort. I want you to grade yourself on your technique. And I want to grade yourself on your mental capacity. Those 3 things. If you'll grade yourself on those 3 things and you're improving, then we'll play well. Let's go out and do something.
And after the teams traded field goals in the first quarter, the powerful Aggie offense soon put the game out of reach.
Field goal. First and goal inside the 5 at the 4.5. Vick trying to get a block in for the touchdown. Roger Vick.
Substitutions at the last second.
Deep pitch will go to Woodside. Has the corner at the 10, at the 5. Did he get in? Yes, he did. Took the pitch. The slot will be Woodside. Straight drop back under a lot of pressure again. Murray will throw the football in the direction of Bernstein. They make the catch out to the 40, to the 45, 47-yard line. Tim Stanfield with that statistical information. Right back to the line of scrimmage. Kevin Murray under some pressure. Still has time to throw, however, and will toward the end zone. Rod Harris, touchdown. Rod Harris with the touchdown.
And the Aggie defense made life miserable for the Owls through the remainder of the game.
Motion, Goolsby, Roper, under pressure, hits and dropped at the 36-yard line. Here they are, 1st and 10 at their own 28. First play of the second half. Aggies lead 24-3. Passing over the middle, ball's up in the air and intercepted by Steve Bullitt. Back to the 30, back to the 27-yard line. That ball was deflected off the hands of the intended receiver. Second down and 10. 39-yard line, just outside the 38 in Aggie territory. Here's Roper under some pressure. He's going to be caught and dropped back at his 49-yard line. First man to hit him is Larry Kelm. Johnny Holland joins in.
By early in the second half, Coach Sherrill gave the starters a rest, providing a lot of younger players a chance to see some game action. They responded enthusiastically.
Here is the handoff to Collins. He breaks through a big gap at the 30. He's down inside the 20. He is in for a touchdown. Boy, just like that. Out of the line of scrimmage at the 44-yard line. He went from nowhere. Melvin Collins and a 44-yard touchdown. Third down at their own 42-yard line. Overton, pressure coming from behind. He will throw a screen pass, and it's intercepted. And on the return, the Aggies have Gary Jones, and he's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown. Boy,
the Aggies roll to a 45-10 victory, stretching their home game-winning streak to 13. The Aggies rolled into Texas Stadium to face the SMU Mustangs, setting up their second come-from-behind pulse pounder in 3 weeks. The tempo was set early in the first quarter when A&M fought back from a 7-3 deficit.
Murray drops straight back, throws it over the middle. Bernstein's got it, the 15, the 10, 5. He'll score, touchdown. Rod Bernstein makes his 4th touchdown grab of the year, and A&M goes out in front.
The Ponies responded and held the lead until late in the first half when Roger Vick capped off a long A&M drive on 4th and goal.
As for SMU, Murray gives it off to Vick. He powers it in.
Flag's down.
Powers it in, touchdown. There is a flag.
2 more scores sandwiched around intermission put the Aggies down by 11. SMU with the ball and the clock running out in the third quarter. The Aggie defense had to get the ball back.
Give it off to Atkins on the misdirection. He runs straight smack dab into Johnny Holland at the line of scrimmage at the 25. And Bobby Waters with a long count. Waters under pressure. He's going to have to scramble. Running to the right. Fakes. He's going to be dumped by John Roper.
SMU was forced to punt, and Kevin Murray cranked up the long-range artillery.
Murray back to throw. Murray looking over the middle. He throws the home run ball. Woodside's got it, the 15-10. 5 touchdown. Keith Woodside on the 51-yard touchdown reception from Kevin Murray, and the Aggies score like lightning. It is a 28-23 ball game now. Single setback behind Kevin Murray. Bernstein goes in motion from a wingback spot. Murray fires to Bernstein. He's got it. 2-point conversion is good.
Now trailing by only 3 going into the fourth quarter, the Aggies needed another defensive stand by the guys in the trenches.
Will have trouble hearing their own signals in their own stadium. Waters rolling to the left. He's in trouble. He's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. And again, it is John Roper. Carter is standing back at his own 3-yard line. Has a good snap from Albert Reese. And kicks a beauty this time. Harris retreating all the way back to his 33. Up the sideline to the 40. Makes a move. 45, 50, 45. Stumbles. 40, 35, 30, and out of bounds.
The defense and special teams had done their job. The Aggies wasted no time in taking advantage of the situation.
Short wing to the right side. That's Valentine on the wing. Pitch it back to Vick. He's got a big hole. He'll walk into the end zone. Touchdown. Right.
But the Ponies were not dead. They regained the lead, stopped the Aggie offense, and began to run out the clock. One more Mustang first down could ice the game.
Second down, 10. Fake it off to Atkins. Waters rolling left. He's in trouble. He's going to have to eat the football back at the 18-yard line. That was
the nationally ranked defense did its job. The offense got one last chance.
Woodside sets as a wing left. Murray looking left. Blitz is on. He gets the pass away. Woodside's got it 30. 5, 20, 15, 10, 5. He will score. Touchdown, Woodside. A 34-yard touchdown strike from Murray to Woodside with 1:48. And here is back on top.
You know, I think that this year, without a doubt, the people that have played us, our opponents, and certainly in the conference, were geared, ready to play us. And it was something that was very, very big to play Texas A&M. And I think that comes back from being the conference champion. And we were the champion until somebody removed that crown from us. So now it's 2 years in a row before somebody can say, okay, we're trying to take that crown away from you. And I think that the big thing that when you play these people is you have to realize that they are ready to play Texas A&M. It was an exciting game to play and to watch, but our players performed and came back and won the ball game.
ABC Sports cameras were on hand as the Aggies brought a 2-game conference lead to War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock. The Hogs scored first, but midway through the second period, the Aggies fought back.
Third down and 1, or 11 rather. The Aggies at the Texas A&M 41. Murray is back, looking all day. Moving out of the pocket, now scrambling, now being chased. Throwing downfield, receiver wide open at the 35-yard line of Arkansas. Woodside in motion left. Murray back, looking into the end zone, fires it. It is a touchdown, Texas A&M. As Keith Woodside comes up with his 5th touchdown of the year.
A Hog touchdown and an Aggie field goal in the second half set up a now familiar situation. The Aggie defense, running out of time, had to stop the Hogs for A&M to have its last chance at a victory.
First down and 10 Arkansas. Joe Johnson gets the handoff, and he's going to be stymied at the line of scrimmage on third down and 2. The give is to Van Dyke. He won't make it. He's stopped a yard shy. Down and 8, Texas A&M.
The scene was now set for the third time in 4 games. The Aggies were on the march again.
Double slot, and Murray again back. He's looking over the middle, complete to Bernstein at the 20, down to the 15, and Bernstein will get to the 14-yard line of Arkansas before Brothers trips him up.
With the War Memorial Stadium crowd going wild, the game came down to this one final play. The magic come from behind spell had been broken, but Coach Sherrill sensed that for the Aggies, the difference between winning and losing was measured in seconds and inches, not in attitude and confidence.
But even the last play of the game, we're still going to win it. And our players on the sideline didn't feel any different, that we were going to find some way to win it. And if we'd made the catch, or if we'd thrown the ball 6 inches shorter, then we win the ball game.
Still protecting a 1-game conference lead with 2 games to go, Coach Sherrill brought his team back home to face TCU. The game's significance both as the last Kyle Field appearance for the Aggie seniors and for its effect on the Southwest Conference race took an added dimension. Coach Sherrill explains.
I think you're going to have to look at the TCU game in a different perspective because that game was our last home game at Kyle Field for these seniors. And that game meant an awful lot to these seniors. And going into that game, I called our seniors together during the week and said, hey, if we're going to go to the Cotton Bowl, it's your responsibility to take the leadership role and get us there. And knowing that there would be over 60-some-odd thousand people in the stands watching them play their last game, our seniors went out there with the determination that they were going to play well and they were going to do the things necessary to win that ball game. And they did.
With a national ESPN audience looking on, the defending Southwest Conference champions travel to Austin in search of their second consecutive title. Spotting their host a field goal and expecting a hard-nosed defensive struggle, the Aggies were ready to accept the challenge.
Nelson in motion. Metcalf and another reverse to Nelson. Not this time. 5 minutes, 44 seconds and counting in the first half. Texas scored one field goal, drove a long way in position to make another, but missed. Hunter, fumble, and it looked like A&M got it.
As they had done all season, the defense had given the offense an opportunity to put points on the board as the final seconds of the half ticked away.
Comes the rush on Murray again, almost blindside. What a shot over the middle. The catch is made, but Jeffries leveled Shea Walker, who did a great job to hang on. 38 seconds left. It's 1st and 10. A&M on a drive. They're in field goal position now as Walker has it to the 10-yard line. Gang tackle there, but it'll be another first down for the Aggies.
A Scott Slater field goal tied the game just before intermission. And on their first possession after the break, the Aggie offense moved quickly.
Harris in motion. Got time, and he throws to Bernstein. Complete, driven out of bounds at the 13. 3rd and 3. Biggest play of the ball game. Bernstein in motion. Murray can't find anybody, now throws, and Harris, touchdown.
What a catch.
And field goal kicker Scott Slater's record 21st field goal of the season made him the first 100-point place kicker in SWC history.
He has been a very active kicker for the high-scoring offense this year. And he's got it. Scott Slater from 42 yards has given Texas A&M a 13-3 lead.
And the Aggie defense, which had been called upon so many times to get the ball for one last chance at victory, now got to use the same technique to preserve the win.
Here comes the blitz. Everybody on the way, and Stafford lows it up in the air, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Flowers. Flowers back to the 41-yard line. The 5th interception this year for James Flowers.
The 16-3 victory, the 3rd win in a row for the Aggies over the Longhorns, made A&M the first team in 18 years to win back-to-back undisputed Southwest Conference championships. After the game, Coach Sherrill had some special words of praise for his senior running back from Tom Ball.
You know, I don't know how many times we ran the horse tonight, but the horse kept on running. You know, he wasn't going to quit. That's the law.
Thanks to the offensive line, the whole team. I tell you what kept me going out there, fellas, was your love. Yeah. Your love and you believing in me. And I'd just like to say thanks to all y'all. Hey, just keep pushing on. Yeah!
Then it was time for the second consecutive invitation to the Big Bash in Big D.
All the people here representing the Cotton Bowl just have one question to ask all you fine young men and coaches. Would you like to come to Dallas and host the Southwest Conference football game and represent this conference and your school in a great game against Ohio State? We'll see you in Dallas.
For the second time in 2 years, all roads led to Dallas for the Aggie faithful as they enjoyed a week-long round of practices, banquets, and parties as a build-up to the match against Ohio State. Cotton Bowl officials reported they could have sold more than 100,000 tickets for the clash. Championships are won by teams playing together as a unit. However, Coach Sherrill and his staff are always pleased when individual honors come to members of his athletic family. Johnny Holland had a career 455 tackles, the best at Texas A&M in the last decade. Kip Corrington led the defensive secondary in tackles with 93, including 48 unassisted. Kevin Murray was the trigger man in the deadly Aggie offensive attack. Rod Bernstein was the second straight Aggie to lead the SWC in receiving after Jeff Nelson did it in 1985. Roger Vick made 100-yard performances commonplace as he tore into enemy lines with reckless abandon. Pete Woodside is considered to be one of the top receivers in the country out of the backfield. Scott Slater's toe provides a weapon that Coach Sherrill doesn't hesitate to call upon. Sammy O'Brien has started at nose guard since arriving on the Aggie campus. Todd Howard delivered 81 tackles, 53 of them unassisted as he provided senior leadership. Jerry Fontenot was considered to be the most consistent offensive lineman for the Maroon and White. Jay Muller was the winner of the coveted Aggie Hart Award at the end of the season. Rod Sadler delivered 74 tackles, 42 of them unassisted as he played a key defensive role. Louis Cheek paved the way for Aggie running backs and provided steady pass protection for Kevin Murray. Shea Walker made some big catches, A&M's all-time reception leader. Larry Kelm led the defensive troops with 118 tackles, 72 of them the unassisted variety. Chet Brooks played a key role in the Aggie defensive efforts, making big tackles for losses. James Flowers led the Aggie secondary in pass interceptions, pulling down 5 during the championship season. Marshall Land cleared the way for the running backs with his steady blocking performances. Coach Jackie Sherrill followed his back-to-back championship seasons at A&M with a victory as the head coach of the West team in the Hula Bowl. The sights and sounds of the may fade away, but Aggies everywhere will always treasure the memories of those back-to-back championship years. Wait until next year takes on a new and exciting meaning at Texas A&M. The future is here to stay.